Hello, my friend. How's it going? This is Amy, the Sun Tarot. I have some really great news. This book, which was actually co-authored many years ago, I finally just ordered my copy, like physical copy. I've had it digital copy for a long time, but what's so cool about this book is, one, it's got a picture of people hiking, which is like my favorite thing to do, but also it's forwarded by Bob Proctor, who's a great inspiration of mine. And if you look in it, see, look, that's me. Trust the process. So I was really excited because I don't know what took me so long to order this book. It's actually a really, really good book. It's people's success stories using Napoleon Hill's 17 success principles. So it's super, super cool. And it was all put together by somebody that I know named Tom Cunningham. Now, he passed away a few years back, unfortunately. But Tom did write a story to go inside of one of my books. And what's interesting is that's about to come out. So I'm pretty stoked about it, and it would be a great tribute and memory to him. He was an amazing, amazing person, and you can tell when you read his stories, and he left a legacy and impacted a lot of people, as well as Bob Proctor. So super excited. If you get a chance, this is Journeys to Success 2. It's the second volume. So feel free to get it and check out my story and all the other amazing contributing authors in that. All right, so what we're going to do today is I am just going to be doing a general reading. I don't know what the cards have in store yet. And for anyone who doesn't know me, my name's Amy Thomson. I am a spiritual intuitive, a business strategist, and healing artist. So I have many different decks in front of me right now, so I'm just going to pull several cards and see what it is. So the theme for today's reading is actually this. It is, I can't tell stories of shortage and experience abundance. So maybe there's a part that you are also going through the same thing, and I'll share a recent experience with you as we go through this. All right, so if that's the general theme for this message, then let's see what Spirit has to say for you. All right, so tuning into your energy. All right, Spirit, what messages do you have for the viewer of this reading? Okay. What else? We got a few things so far. And one more from here. I hope you guys can hear me okay. This is a brand new setup at a new place. And as you can see, it's so new I have nothing on the wall yet. I ordered a shelf. So I thought, but it turned out it was one of those scam websites, and the shelf did not actually come in. So that was a new experience. I probably shouldn't have been trying to book flights at the same time I was doing that. But live and learn, and I'm going to order from where I usually order from. Actually, I'm going to end up going somewhere in person to order the shelf because it's a very specific size, and I'm looking for something very specific. So I haven't found it online yet. Okay, so here's what we got for your reading. So as you know, we got number 37. I can't tell stories of shortage and experience abundance. So continuing to tell stories of shortage only continues to contradict your desire for abundance, and you cannot have it both ways. You cannot focus upon unwanted and receive wanted. You cannot focus upon stories about money and that make you feel uncomfortable and allow into your experience what makes you feel comfortable. A different story will bring different results. My thoughts are the basis for the attraction of all things that I consider to be good, which includes enough money and health for my comfort and joy. All right, I'm gonna go grab my glasses. I'm very brand new to wearing glasses, so I forget that I need them sometimes. Just 1 second. Okay, here we go. So in my own life, with this channel, with you here, I was experiencing this exact same thing. You know, I can't have stories of lack and experience abundance. And in my mind, I was like, well, how many people are businessy and actually intuitive? And, you know, what if when I put things out, because I'm all about authenticity and really like being yourself, being able to create abundance and success and things and happiness, like legit happiness by being who you really are. And I started, I separated everything before, right? I had my channeling, and then I had my business, and I had my just everything was separate, and I felt that I had to be compartmentalized. But that was a story that was all about lack. My entire story was lack. And so I'm telling a new story that I will attract the right audience. And if you're here and this resonates with you at all, you're probably the right audience. And I will give them the best value that I can, because ultimately I'm here to help you level up your happiness, joy, success, and embrace your authenticity, right? So if there's anywhere that you are struggling to be your authentic self, then feel free to check the description box, because I will have some things below and some things to help you out there. But let's get into this. So below that, you have the universe powerfully responds the instant that I realign with love. Again, it all comes back to who you are, who you're being, and who you're being as authentically you. The cool thing is you can create yourself in any moment, and have that be authentically who you are. The challenging thing is that we are all energy, and all of us impact each other. So if it's not something that's authentically aligned with the core of who you are, it's not sustainable over long term, because you'll be in different situations with different people and your energy will shift. So let's figure out how to have you in alignment, and also have you have your stories in alignment as well. So you're getting the success and the abundance and things. You get the, instead of the lack, you get everything you're looking for. Okay, so you got a time for healing in reverse. You got adjustments are required in reverse. Share your gifts in inverse. You are not afraid, upright. Have faith in your dreams. When I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. Okay, I'm getting with this card like a huge shift in my energy as I'm going through this. So this one's going to play a very, very significant role in your story and what you're here for. Okay, then you've got stop, and right underneath that you've got start anew, and literally head to toe I have goosebumps right now. So it's almost like through this reading you've got a bit of a story, and then as it goes along it really has you looking at how to be patient with yourself, how to be patient with the process. And it's so funny, this story that I started off with at the very beginning, and I couldn't even remember what I had written for it, but it is actually called, it's called Trust the Process. So it's not a coincidence that you're here, and you may be in a spot where you're not trusting the process. Maybe you've been getting a lot of training and you're quite experienced, but maybe there's some things inside your vision that don't align. Or maybe you're trying to maintain and hold this vision, but your energy wants you to be in different places and do different things. So this is really cool. All right, so yeah, you're definitely holding back. You're holding back in some way, and it could be like online on social media. It could be presenting in front of groups. It could be sharing the packages or the products or promotions that you've got. It could be just talking with people that you know. It could be with finding your tribe and finding your people, right? But the good news is that you're at the stage where you want to embrace it. It's like you want to move ahead. You're not afraid. But it may be that you're not sure exactly what to do. You've still got some old stories and some limiting beliefs, right? But the challenge with that is that it's continually blocking your gifts. You have gifts that are unique to you that no one in the world has. Yes, people will have certain things, like if you broke them all down, there are going to be different people who have different gifts that you have. But the unique combination of your experiences and everything you've learned and what you bring to the table, as well as your personality, you know, there's no one who can do what you do the way that you do it. So it is key and required is the words that are coming to me right now. It's required for you to share your gifts. But the thing is that you need to do is you need to actually stop. So there's something that you're doing, or maybe you're just moving too fast, or maybe you're not taking enough time to really allow yourself to heal from some things that may be within you. And it could be things from recent, maybe you've gone through some kind of traumatic experience or some kind of shifts in your life. Maybe you've had some actual physical or mental health things, or maybe people around you have been going through things. But regardless, It's, I get you're somebody who is kind of like a bit of a powerhouse, and you'll go into, like you'll just continually move. I get that you're somebody who will tackle your goals and you'll move towards them, but not necessarily take the enough downtime. Like it's more like if you do not take the downtime that you need, you're not going to get the clarity and the realignment with your own self. The good thing is though, this is very, like this one here is at the very center of your reading, right underneath the like the theme card. And this was the one that says, the universe powerfully responds the instant that I realign with love. And the cool thing about that is that you have definitely experienced where you realign with who you are and what you're here for. And you have been able to achieve things and quite quickly, to be able to bring in the right people. And it's almost like everything just suddenly starts to line up, boom, 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 right? So you're not supposed to stress about the amount of time that you actually stop to heal, right? But you are supposed to take some time, because there are adjustments required, but you're not seeing the adjustments quite yet. And the cool thing is that it's almost like you're, okay, I'm going to give you a bit of an analogy or a metaphor. So imagine somebody who is standing on the edge of a cliff, like with the hang glider, okay? And so imagine like this is you and you're not afraid of heights or anything, but it's like you're there and you're right on the edge, and you know that when you go, and imagine your experience and everything's going to go right, but it's like you have to actually make that move. But when you're standing there, you're going to be analyzing and just making sure that everything is okay before you take that leap, right? So it's like in this situation, you're on the edge of something. You're on the edge of something that's going to be I'm going to say a life-changing epiphany. And it may not be, like for some of you who are watching this, because this is a general reading, for some of you it is going to be like literally, it's like you're making a complete and total shift, but it's going to be something that's in alignment with you. For others of you, it's going to be that you're making this shift, but it's more like bringing in the pieces of you that were not shared with people before, and pushing away all of the things that are not really you. It's like really shedding your skin to be who you are and embracing it fully. And I'm getting that you're right on the brink, like right on the edge of being able to do this. And what's going to happen is when you take that leap of faith and you allow yourself to, okay, so also more messages are coming in, like look for the community, look for the people that support you with this. And if you don't have the community, just start trusting the process that you yourself, it's almost like you are the community. You are the community. When you are yourself, people will be drawn to you because they cannot help that. We are energetic beings. We attract each other. Likes attract likes, and you will find the right people. Okay. But the cool thing is you won't have that story of shortage and lack anymore, because those things that you worry about now aren't even going to be a concern for you when you're fully in alignment with yourself, because your authentic power is going to come in. And when people are in their full authentic power, and it's so much easier to have that clarity and have that peace of mind and to attract the abundance. And it can be like abundance of all sorts. Okay. So you will have less stories of lack because there's like no place in there. Like basically there's no place in your thinking process. There's no place for your stories of lack to hang out. And therefore you'll have stories of abundance just because of who you are. You'll know you're an abundant being and you have everything you need. And things will start coming because you're attracting what you are. Is that clear? Okay. The next cards you've got is, and again, I just picked these up and head to toe goosebumps. Like, oh. So this part here is very, very important. So pay attention, right? So you've got, have faith in your dreams, and that's the waxing crescent moon. And I'm saying that because if you look at this imagery, you can see the shape of the moon. It's almost like, you know, when there's a new moon and you can't really see it, but it's like this here. It doesn't matter what part of the cycle you're in. It's almost like this card is pointing to the fullness of who you are, and that little bit that is showing is what you've allowed people to see so far. But when you're coming out as your full authentic self, it's going to be showing up as like people get to see you, and it illuminates everything and everyone. And so it's having the faith. Imagine like imagine the moon. Imagine the moon didn't have faith to show itself, and it could only show a little sliver. The world would be pretty dark. Well, that's a message for you. Okay, so the world is quite dark when you don't get to share your light and your gifts. And when I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. There are going to be many things that are going to come up for you that you're not going to know how to do. You're not going to know who. You're not going to have the answers. Trust the process. This is so paramount that anytime that these thoughts come up where you're not sure what to do, or if you've got a cluttered mind, or you just are not clear, let that go and just say, I'm letting the universe do what I cannot do for myself. I'm allowing the universe to give me the answers. I'm allowing these things to come together. I don't have to figure everything out. I don't have to know everything. I don't have to solve everything, and I don't have to be everything. It's exhausting to feel like you have to be everything, know everything, and do everything. It's exhausting. So if you've been doing that, this is your time to stop. Completely to stop. And something else that I'm getting, and I'm not quite sure what this is yet, but if you look at this, right, the foliage is going in a circle, like a bit of a wreath. But the image that I'm getting is like a cardiovascular system, right? And it's like you're blocking the flow. Imagine that you yourself are getting in your own way. Imagine like these leaves here, okay? This is like, oh, I need to do it. I need to take care of that. It's almost like every one of the leaves is one of your thoughts that gets in the way and blocks the flow. So every time you have a thought where you feel you need to make sure everything's perfect, imagine one of those leaves kind of goes out towards the center. And then before you know it, your abundance and your clarity and your peace of mind and all of those things, it gets blocked. So these little thoughts and habits that you have are blocking the flow. So allow yourself to just trust that, anytime that you've got those thoughts or those feelings or those fears or anything that come up, ask for guidance, allow your subconscious mind to figure things out while you go to sleep, or put it out to the universe completely and release it and say, I trust this is going to work. I'm not sure how. Thank you very much, right? And live in gratitude and live in abundance. Because again, those things attract more, right? And maybe you have a hard time with certain things because you're not supposed to know everything yet, or you're not supposed to be in that area yet. And maybe you're meant in that time period to go in a slightly different direction and come back. The thing is, if you know the feeling you're looking to achieve and you have the vision, or it could be one or the other, right? Either way, it's a vision. Whether you're a feeling person like I am, like if I'm sure of a feeling I want, because I'm an intuitive person, if I have a feeling, then I can start attracting from that feeling so much. And I don't have to have the actual clear vision for myself. But other people are a little different, where they have to have like the detailed vision. Right? So you could be either one of those people, but regardless, is connect your vision to how things make you feel and follow what is feeling right and good for you. And just know some things aren't going to line up exactly when you want them to, but trust that everything is going to come together, because it will. Now, if you've got anything that does not feel in alignment with you, like this is very, very clear. Like the energy that I'm getting right now from this card is literally nothing. Like, that feeling of nothing when everything stops and there's silence and there's just stillness and there's nothing. So if there's anything that you know or you feel or you think isn't right for you at this time, stop. There's no wrong. No wrong. Start anew. Okay, so say that something feels right or doesn't feel right, and you're worried that things are going to fall apart if you stop. You're like, I can't stop this. I can't, I've invested too much time, too much energy. These people are working on this, like there's all kinds of reasons why you might feel you can't stop. Usually it's because you've got some kind of momentum built up towards stuff, right? You've got some kind of investment of your time or others or money or things like that. But if something doesn't feel right for you, stop. Now, it's not saying you have to stop for a long time. It's not saying you have to stop. It's like stop so that you can have that clarity. You can, like maybe it's a plan. Maybe you've been working on this plan. Maybe your plan's behind. Maybe you've got this project or this goal, but when you're going so much and you're just going in the day to day and you don't take that time, you can't see the answers for how the plan can be better done. Or give you an example of things that I've done in my past. I may have a plan, and then as you all know, even the best plans, sometimes something will go off, right? And then now you're off budget, you're off schedule, you're sometimes off scope, it could be anything. It could be like just things don't always go according to plan. The best thing that you can do is to stop and center in from where that place is and where the vision is, like the end vision, where the place is. But instead of trying to go from the plan that you had to the end outcome, and it's funny because now as I'm talking, I feel like my voice got stuck. And maybe it's a communication issue with yourself and the people from your team or other team members with each other. Maybe the biggest challenge you've got going on right now is actually communication. But regardless of what it is, stop so that you can take stock of exactly what is. Instead of what the plan was, like look at what is. When I'm coaching people, a lot of the things that I notice is the attachments that people have to what they created in the past. And I mean, I was the worst with this. It's like I had like an art line. I did a bunch of music. I had a bunch of like home products. I've had coaching, meditations. I've had all of these different things and these different programs, and I've written books and all of this stuff. And I was so attached that it kept me stuck for years, because it was like, well, how am I going to pull it all together, and who's going to know what I'm trying to do, and So it wasn't until I literally just background. I recently ended a 12-year relationship, but I decided to stop. I stopped with being obsessive about my training and growth. I stopped with, there were a lot of things that I stopped. And I allowed myself to just wander for a little bit. And when I say that, like, I allowed myself to drift into the social media rabbit hole. Actually, I don't really like social media, so I didn't go down that way. But the media rabbit hole, I guess, things that are interesting to me. I allowed myself to follow my flow. I allowed myself to get into new experiences. But it was like I was just going with what felt right to me. I played guitar way more than I ever have, and I actually am not too bad now. But one of the greatest experiences from that was that I'm not attached to how everything was, and therefore from right now, from this place here, I still know the feeling I want and what I'm out to achieve. And the way that I process things, the more clear the vision is, the less likely I am to hit it. It's like, because I get bored. I get bored. But if I have a feeling and a somewhat idea of the vision, I'll just go with it and I'll enjoy the process the whole way. Okay? So however you are and however you operate, look at what's best for you. Because one thing that I've always prided myself on is that I create programs and products that are adaptable to different people. Because I've worked with people right from like preschool all the way up to, extremely old seniors, and I've worked with them in so many capacities, and I know not everybody thinks the same way, they don't act the same way, they don't process information the same way. And how could we expect that somebody's planning or somebody's system or things like that is going to work for the next person? It's like, it may be the greatest system in the world for that type of person, but it's not necessarily going to work for somebody else. And one of the biggest challenges that I see people with is they're trying to fit themselves into other people's systems. And what I like to do is I like to help people learn about systems and then find how to have it work for them, right? Like I've helped a lot of people in business, in all different types of businesses actually, but I've helped people to be able to increase sales and increase like happiness. I've kept marriages together, things like that. And it's really, it's something that I take pride in, is being able to adapt things to people's personality and people's routines and mindset, and help them to expand their context and have them see what they can do within how they see themselves. Anyways, I got off on a tangent there, but the biggest thing that I'm trying to say is wherever your plan is or wherever it felt like it went off, just stop and start fresh. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself, but you've got to be able to be patient with yourself and the time. And if you need to take a little bit more time, let people know, okay? Because that's another thing that I notice, is that people are not likely to say, hey, I actually really need some time and this is what I'm doing. I need to get some clarity. I need to work through a few things. Maybe you've got some messes in your life that you need to clean up. Like if things are not working and you're not receiving your abundance and feeling like you're living your truest potential, often it's because there are cluttered things. In the Finishers Club, one of my programs before, we have like clearing the clutter. And we look at everything that would be in your life, in your mind, in conversations, even things from the past that you may have forgotten, things that you think are no longer relevant. They don't even apply anymore. But it's like all of these little things clutter your mind. And then there's also your physical space as well. And then there's things like finances and taxes and all of those things. So yeah, one of the biggest things that I notice is that when you're able to little by little clean things up, things become a lot easier for you to be in that flow state and receive. I don't necessarily personally like to do things over a long period of time. I like to get in that zone and just go to town. So the Finishers Club, I've got a 12-day and a 6-day program, because you can do a lot when your mindset is right. Like you can do so much, and yeah, very powerful program. So anyways, I'm going to pull a couple more cards for you. Just to sum up what this says so far is that you're being held back a little by the stories that you tell. You may be being held back a lot, but it's like you're right at the brink of making a major shift that's going to bring in the abundance you're looking for. And so it is to take that time. If there are things that are not healed from the past, because I get that there's some things, this time that you got when you stop, like they may be completely unrelated, but they are related. Like you may have something in your personal life that's affecting your work life and you don't even see the correlation, or the other way around. You may have something in your work life that's affecting your personal life and you cannot see it yet. So taking that time is going to allow you to start to put the pieces together, because that's very, very important. All right, I'm gonna pull something from the Pleasure Oracle right now, just to give you the heads up. It's not always PG, some of these things on these cards, but pleasure and satisfaction are very important parts of life, so you don't want to be ignoring all of those things. Okay, so you got love revolution upright, defiant vulnerability in inverse, and erotic abundance. Okay, and because this reading is about abundance and the lack of lack, right? I have a feeling this is also going to be very important. And also, where this card landed is right underneath these ones. And notice the colors, okay? So you may want to spend some time. I don't know how much you know about the chakra system and stuff, but this would be more like when you take some time, see what kind of spiritual downloads that you get. Also, like pay attention to your dreams. Okay, there's going to be some clues in that for you. And I'm going to read this one first, because this one says, it's right underneath, when I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do myself, or for myself. So erotic abundance. Suffering stems from our separation from illusions of separation, from source, from stuff, and from each other. Pain is inevitable in life, but the fact remains we have everything we need. Abundance is often conceptualized in relation to money, but look to nature's cornucopia. The best, most essential things are always free. Abundance is knowing it with every cell of your being and living that truth. So here's your action. The pleasure that is your birthright is not an old tap, forever at risk of running dry. It's an endless spring oasis that forever flows. Come to its fountain and drink until you're quenched. Travel as you might, your emotional and erotic abundance is not going anywhere. Make sure you count your blessings daily. So you may feel like maybe you've missed the boat on things, or you don't have the opportunities that you have, or maybe you've got some like physical self-image issues or some, whatever it is. This pleasure that is part of your birthright, it is part of your abundance, that's limitless. That is not going anywhere. Okay, so if there's anything that you feel like maybe you're married, maybe you're not, maybe you're interested in somebody, maybe you're not, whatever it is like the feelings that you want to have, allow yourself to have those. Allow yourself to know with every cell of your body that you are an abundant being, and you are an attractive being, and you are a charismatic being, and all of these things that you see in other people that you feel you don't see in yourself. Like, recognize on a cellular level that you have every single characteristic and trait that you want. They are all of there. Maybe some of them are dormant, maybe you don't allow some of them out sometimes, but you have everything there, and this is your birthright. Okay, you can enjoy pleasure and eroticism, and you can have everything that it is that you want. It's not just monetary, right? Okay, now we got defiant vulnerability in inverse. Growing up, we're taught that sex is taboo and shameful. Then in mainstream adult depictions, it's portrayed as robotic, typically clinical, unimaginative, and made through a violent male gaze. I don't know that word. But it is true. Like, a lot of it's done through the male gaze. Defiant vulnerability falls outside of the binary of covert versus overt dynamics and instead allows sexuality to be exactly what it is. It is human. So here's the action. That means acknowledging the emotional being inside the body. So acknowledge your emotional being. It means unashamedly sharing our needs, wants, and particular appetites. It means authentic communication at all times. And it means being unapologetic about voicing how you feel. Anything less isn't sexy or subversive. It's social and cultural obedience. Say what you need to say. Okay, a little while ago, I had the feeling of not being able to communicate. Okay, this card here, with it being in the inverse, this is basically you're not expressing some of the things that would really make you happy on a physical, emotional, because we are human beings, and there is a physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, like there is a connection when we have intimacy with people. And whether it is something that is as intimate as like intercourse, right? Or it is a simple hug, or even handshake, or just pat on the shoulder. There's something that's not being communicated that would allow you to be able to feel really fully self-expressed in who you are. This is like, this card fell right underneath these two cards, okay? So this one was the main card for the reading, right? Can't have stories of shortage and experience abundance, right? And then underneath, it's the universe powerfully responds when the instant I realign with love. But this one here is saying there's something that's missing for you to allow yourself to realign with the love in the physical aspect. But it could also be with the emotional and spiritual. Like, there's something that's missing, and I'm getting that it's just something that is not being communicated to someone about what your wants and your needs are. And maybe you have a fear of how somebody else would react, or how it's going to impact I'm getting your work or your project or your family or anything like that. So do some exploring around that. Because this is a general reading, I can't give you too much detailed advice in that particular area. And I mean, if you did want, well, I'm just gonna say, just look at that closely, okay? Take some time to look at it. What it is that you're not saying that you want to express a need, like some kind of needs or desires, and explore them. Explore them with the people that you want to explore them with. Yeah. And keep in mind, oh wow. Okay, I'm just gonna say what's coming. Keep in mind, people have feelings, okay? And they also have expectations. Like, human beings were a complex system of a lot of things: thoughts, feelings, emotions, all of those. And there's going to be a way that you can communicate that is going to have you have what you want, but also be very respectful of the other people in your life. And people are going to appreciate it and admire you for your courage to step forward and have the conversations, and be aligned with your authentic self. Okay. Right before this, we got the love revolution. So shame, guilt, and victimhood create powerlessness. But when we're in a dark place, courting anything else feels like a denial of our pain. It's true that we need to feel our despair in order to heal from it. But embracing wonder and joy is not a denial. It's our way through it. So the action. Love is strength. Love is resilience. Love doesn't shout, it whispers. And yet, it's a force so powerful that only it can wake you from a life that feels like a bad dream. Integrate your anger, accept your hurt, but don't identify with it. For only love can set us free. See if you can counter the fearful thoughts you have, or you notice having, with a ridiculously loving thought. I had a ridiculously loving thought the other day. It was kind of funny. Like, you know those movies where people kind of, like, there's a guy and a girl and they're hanging out and they kind of like each other through the movie, and then at some point in the movie it's like one of them falls and lands on the other. So I had that thought the other day as I was walking, and I was just thinking how funny it would be, because I was not fully self-expressed and didn't tell this person that I was kind of feeling on them, which was pretty cool. Yeah, after my relationship, I didn't even think that would happen. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, it was a ridiculously loving thought. It made me giggle, and it just that thought made me feel good. So whatever thought it is that's going to have you bring more love into your situation and your life and who you are and what you want, just bring that in, because love, again, at the very center of your reading, this is it. The universe powerfully responds the instant I realign with love. Yeah, powerful things will start to happen. And you're a brave person, you're a courageous person, you tackle your dreams, you go after what you want. And that's something that, you know, if things have not been 100% working, it's completely to do with the story that you tell and the lack of feeling of love. So shift your emotions by bringing that love in, realigning, and taking that time to heal anything that may not be healed. There are people who want you. And when I say people who want you, I mean, like, they want you in all kinds of ways. You know, as a friend, as a companion, as like what it is for your products and services, the gifts that you're holding back, that you haven't brought forward yet. People are, if you see this, like, people are waiting for you to give them your gifts. So allow yourself to give your gifts to yourself and give that love to yourself. Last card for the reading. Okay, what is the last card? Variety. Okay, maybe you're somebody who likes variety, or maybe, okay, so again, this is general reading, so I'm getting a couple messages here. So you may be somebody who really likes variety and you need to bring more of that into your life. And also maybe the other message that I'm getting is maybe the people in your life, they also like variety, but they feel like they're not getting enough of that in their life. So have these conversations here, because it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like it could be you sharing your vulnerability, but it could be you being the space for other people to be vulnerable and share what's important to them for their self-expression and their love. But see how you can look at how variety would play into what it is that you do. And another message, this is more work related. If you have a variety of things that you like to do, don't stress. Don't worry about it. Don't try to figure everything out. Like this is the biggest thing. Oh my God, I got goosebumps head to toe again. Like this here is such an important card for your reading. All right. So let the universe do those things. Just put yourself out there. All right. If I could give you anything at all, don't shy away from who you are and how you feel. Don't shy away from that. You're a gifted, amazing, beautiful, and strategic person. And sometimes your thinking is so good and powerful, but sometimes it blocks you. Sometimes it's like you feel you need to think your way through everything, and you don't. You don't. It's like bring yourself, all of you, to the table. You will see what works and what doesn't, and you won't have to hold yourself back because the world will have already seen who you are. You know, bring yourself. And it's going to be an amazing, amazing opportunity. When you find that things don't work, this is it. It's like, okay, things aren't working. Stop, analyze, look at it, start anew. Right? Some of you guys, this starting anew is going to be a big leap of faith. And others are going to be like, you're going to start new. Like a lot of people watching this, like for many of you, the message is you'll stop and you'll start new many times because it's like you're kind of honing in on who you are and what you want in your journey. And other people are going to stop less, other of you. But regardless, it's like stop, start anew, and see what there is to discover. Like see the butterfly and the transformation? That's you. And you've got other people. And then see the caterpillar here? The caterpillar is going to be a butterfly. You've got followers. Like you spreading your wings and being who you are is going to allow other people to, like, they're just going to see how beautiful you are, and they're going to take notice and accept and embrace who they are. So they will also be able to spread their wings and fly. Yeah, you got a whole community and a whole group and a whole like a whole wonderful life around you. And I just want to say I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for taking that leap. And you know, you're just right on there checking things out, but it's time. It's time for you to take that action, and don't be afraid. Just live in who you are. Okay? All right. Sending you love, and remember to check the description box below. I will see you in another reading. Also like and subscribe if you want to have more readings like this, or leave a comment and let me know what you want to see. Anyways, see you later. Bye.